Welcome back from the package. Good morning, still Daybreak Africa. I'm Ezekiel, Ogar. The topic today, cost of governance, but it's more like maintenance system for Nigerians. It's more like you adopt a system, you're not sure if you could maintain or how long you tend to maintain that system. So maybe if the way forward should be removing the system, adopting another, or maybe something else. But of course, it's not in my place to say, because as we have a guest already in the house, she is a lecturer, a social analyst, person of Elizabeth Okorafo. Welcome once again on Daybreak Africa.
Thank you for joining us this morning.
It's my pleasure.
And you look beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
Really, really beautiful. Now, quickly, let's talk about some of the key components of cost of governance in Nigeria. What would you, because when we talk about cost of governance, probably people tend to wonder, is it just about the lawmakers' allowances or the presidential benefits and all that? What are the key components of cost of governance?
Yeah, thank you, Ezekiel, once again. Yeah, in Nigeria, they have almost about 4 outlets. 12 outlets or components, as you have chosen to call it, where they run, where they maintain for good governance, starting from infrastructure, starting from education, transport, security, then other aspects, healthcare, education, and those things. These are the areas paying back debts. These are the areas they have in terms of recruitment. They pay salaries of workers, security, and what have you, foreign affairs, relationship with international countries. So these are the outlets where they put money, where they are supposed to put money, or where they say they put money. Agriculture is there, education is there, security is there, healthcare is there. Total welfare of the citizens is their major concern, because both security is for the welfare of the citizens. International relations is the welfare of the citizens. We have our people in diaspora. If we don't pay our dues or we take care of them there, we have our ambassadors there in all these countries. They are being paid, and they are paid to take care of our citizens there. So whatever they spend in running the government is for the benefit of the citizens. Can I rest for now?
Of course.
If I have answered you.
You have. Now, I tend to wonder how this cost of governance tends to impact our economic growth as a nation, because I guess in most cases people tend to believe the cost of governance is the sole reason why we tend to have our challenges as a country, probably maintenance, and especially public political holders' office people believe it tend to really consume a lot, maintaining the presidency and all that comes with it, maintaining our lawmakers and all that comes with it and all that. So I wonder, how does this cost tend to affect or impact our economic growth and development as a nation?
Thank you. Yeah, of course, you cannot go to do a work without having your tools. And the tools for governance is our money, is our finance, is our wealth. You understand? These are the tools that will help you to be able to put into place all your lofty ideas. But then the problem we have, or we may have, or they have been having, is appropriation of this our money. You understand?
Yeah.
Where the places they say they want to use it are good, and there are places that are supposed to use them, but are they really using them there? And to what proportion are they giving to that? For instance, in Nigeria, everybody knows that education is given the least. Either education and healthcare are given the least. What about transportation? What is done about it? You're on your own. If you want to go to anywhere in Nigeria, you're on your own. How have the government subsidized our transportation system? And these days now, you see, the major source of our transportation, or the major way anybody can do anything in Nigeria, is through our fuel. You understand? And that fuel that is the only thing everybody can enjoy, can go to it. When the government is not providing transport for you to go to anywhere, you have to fuel your own car. Are you able to do that? Are you able to do it? So transportation has become a very terrible nightmare for citizens because the government has not allocated what is due for that as part of the governance. Education. Students have to pay through their nurseries. No facility to teach them. And then how do you expect them to do well? The reason for putting all these things in place or sponsoring them or funding them is for you to get profit, for you to get proceeds out of it. In your agricultural sector, you don't just throw money there and let it go. How much of the mechanical whatever techniques have they imputed in this agricultural system? You say, oh, there's agriculture. How many of them have you funded? How many farmers have you funded? And they go into the farm and do things with their own hard-earned money. And you expect them to come and sell it 2 naira for you. So you see, when they toil on their own to do this thing, they come and sell it the much they want because they are not funded. Assuming they are giving fertilizers free of charge. Do you understand? They are giving tools, tractors to help them till, do this, do that. Oh yeah, come and farm. Of course, you have this talent in you. You can, when they mechanize agriculture, you can go and farm. They pay you for being a farmer. They pay you and you go. Then the government will now harvest the proceeds and sell it at a very low cost to the citizens. But when you leave everything, everybody is on his own.
You know, the last time you were here, we spoke about, the last 2 times you were here, we spoke about good governance and our system of running things.
Yeah.
Many believe we are not capable as a nation to adopt or even maintain presidential system or the entire, what it seems we tend to run in this nation. I don't know if you have a different view. Do you think we should look for some other system to adopt, or this system is just perfect but we need a certain tweaking? One person at some point said even our democracy is not exactly like democracy, because in his words we tend to practice a unique kind of democracy. So I then wonder, do we really need tweaking, or we just have to take this all the way and then maybe consider maybe regionalism at some point? Or
I don't think the problem is with the system of government we are practicing. The problem lies with the people we put in the office. The people we entrust our government into. The people we entrust our country to their hands. They are all trying to enrich their pockets. I think the only problem we have is that we don't have this outfit of checking and balancing people's activities. If I give you 5,000 naira to go and buy me something, you buy that thing and come back, I should be able to know how you spent the 5,000 naira. They call it retiring. You retire the money I've given to you. By the time you come back with 5,000 naira, you buy me only a paper of 200 naira. Of course, I should query you. And when I query you, I sanction you if you are found culpable. I've sanctioned you. But here, you hear today that somebody looted so much money. At the end of the day, the thing will go down the drain. Oh, EFCC is after this person. By the time he goes to settle the so-called EFCC, the story will fizzle out. Nobody will hear about it again. 1,001 people. For one person to sign a contract for 53 times, it was all over the air that this man signed a contract for 53 times. And today he's our head. He's one of the kingmakers. So who will you tell now to do the right thing? When those who have done wrong, you didn't punish them. Well, the system is corrupt, not the system itself, but the people there are corrupt. And no matter how much they say they want to put in these areas, outlets, it will not yield because nobody is checking or balancing the process. And in Nigeria, all we know is to borrow. So at the end of the day, a new government will come and will be busy trying to pay off the one they borrowed before him, or even add more. So as I stand here with you, maybe very soon China will come and buy all of us. You don't know. I think I'm trying to look for a soft land in China where I will land if they come for us. Because we are just floating. Nigeria is just floating. Chinua Achebe wrote before he passed on that there was a country. I think that is making sense now, that there was a country called Nigeria. For me, there was. And you know, when something is in the past, that means it's no longer existing. As far as I'm concerned, Nigeria is not existing.
You spoke about the challenge of proper allocation. You still claim education sector, and one other you did mention
agriculture.
Agriculture is not fully funded.
Yeah.
The thing is it that it's not fully funded, or in the scale of preference, it's not really on number 1 or 2, because we know for a fact over time we have had issue with insecurity, and for a better period, we know for a fact allocation and budgetary has been really going to that sector for a while to ensure, because if we are secured, I mean, education and agriculture would definitely be fine. Would you probably consider this more in the scale of preference? There were other things to actually consider and put first?
Like I said before, their plans are well. Their plans are in order. But the problem is the process. Do you understand? This is security outfit we are talking about. Have you not heard about a person that took the whole money meant for ammunition? Did you not hear it? So what are we talking about? You said you are going to spend 10 naira in buying something, buying this newspaper. You left the newspaper and went to buy tissue paper. Or you got there, left to buy the newspaper and gave the seller, the vendor, money. Maybe the newspaper is 200 naira. You gave the vendor 100 naira and pocket the 100 naira and come back to tell them that, hey, the newspaper, give them good excuses where they can hear. Tell them what they can hear. Because you have already sorted them. So the money is not appropriately channeled to where they should be used. I'm not quarreling with the amount you allocate to any outfit or whatever. But then, if it's 50 naira that is meant for you, use it and give account of how you have used it. Let people know that, oh, I've used the 50 naira. It will show in the society. Okay, let's say an institution is giving money, state fund money, to build an outfit. Then from there, they will share, they give to a contractor. Maybe a building that is meant for 200 million. They give the contractor. The contractor have to give them 800 million, 80 million out of the 200. Give to the vice chancellor 20 million. Give to this person 10 million. Is he likely to give you a good building? Is it likely? No. They will tell you that they want to do this and they will from the back and share their money again. So how will you achieve what you have said you want to do? The bulk of our problem in this nation is nothing but check and balance. We don't have that outfit. And those we have, we thought the EACC, give it any name you want to give it. They are all corrupt. When you go there, do you know where he's working? In EFCC. Then back home, like we were talking about background, parental. Back home, immediately you hear that your son is working in EFCC or your daughter is working as an EFCC member. Already at home, the demands on him will be more than whatever he'll be paid. They forget that he'll be paid based on his qualification. Every other things will be allowances. Maybe hazard allowance or whatever. But the demand on him at home, hearing that word alone, that, oh, this person is in the EFCC. Because the society is already aware of the fact that people in EFCC are just there to enrich their pockets and get away. They have not achieved anything. Abacha loot, what have we used it for? Which other one they recovered recently? I've forgotten the disease pen. I don't know. They've been telling us this. Abacha, all that they've been getting from Abacha loot. What have they showed us that they use this money for? Nothing. They get it and pocket it and go away. So that's the problem we have.
No, initially when you were talking, sorry to cut you, Angela. When you were talking, it was more like the challenge was peculiar to this administration. But as you continue talking, you made it sound more like a trend.
Yes, it's
over
a trend.
time.
It's a trend.
Now allocations are in appropriations.
They are
It's more like
truncated.
a trend over time. Is there any other trend you would like to analyze over the decade that has been really prevalent even till now? Just away from the allocation challenge. Is there any other trend?
The godfatherism, the I am, according to the Igbo people, they call it I am Imam Madu. Knowing somebody.
Actually, it's called mentorship.
Okay, we can call it mentorship. No, it's not mentorship in the real sense of it. Mentorship means directing somebody on how to do things. But what I'm talking about, I am Imam Madu, in this case, is that, oh, go there. It's our person that is there. You understand? It's our person that is there. Go there. When you get there, oh, Omo Lagbaja, you okay. The person there will not check your potentials. He will not know whether you're capable of doing it or not. Did we see the video trending, the trending video on one of our ministers? I refuse to call name anymore, where she was holding her breasts in the public dancing. A minister, a lady, holding her breasts. What was it dancing? Is it Bugawa or what? How can you be showcasing immorality in the public? And such a person, what quality did she possess when she was given such a position? I think when you want to be giving somebody a public position, you have to check so many things. In the educational sector, they take it to DSS, they take your profile to DSS, they check who you are. They go to your institution, they check who you are. So many people will come in with fake certificate, with fake result, and then what are we talking about? The whole system is, I don't know. For me, I think the sense have gone. The sense have gone. We are just, let's continue to pray to God to spare our lives. Like yesterday, I told somebody, I said, my prayer is for God to spare my life, to be among those who can see a good Nigeria. But for now, somebody said better Nigeria. I said no. I'm talking about good Nigeria. Because you talk about better when it is good. I'm thinking about God sparing my life to witness a good Nigeria. Do you know what our name is costing our brothers and sisters in the diaspora? Do you know what our international passport is costing them? Immediately they see that green, you already labeled a fraudster. You already labeled a drug addict. You already labeled, illegal immigrants. I had the opportunity of speaking rudely to American personnel that was working in their embassy. I took my mother there in those days when you take your elderly ones who cannot speak English. I took my mother there. The boy left my mother and was asking me questions. Have you been to, no? I've not been, he knows me. Except if you are working in Italian embassy. He said no. At the point he said, I'm telling you, I said, can you be stupid? Stop being stupid here. Do I look like I'm asking for a visa to come to do what in America? With boldness, and that was 1999. I said, do I look like I'm interested in leaving my country to come to your place? By that time, there was a little sanity in Nigeria. The 5 naira you earn will give you something reasonable. I said, do I look like I'm coming to beg you for visa to do what in America? Are you mad? The next thing the boy did was to stamp my mother's passport, denied. Right there, I put a call across to my younger brother, who was a captain then in the U.S. Army. I said, look, this bastard here, I looked at his name. I said, his name is this, so. This bastard has denied your mother visa. I am telling you, with all my boldness, I'm telling you, it did not take us 2 weeks again before they reinvited us and gave my mother visa to go to the US. Do you understand? And what I'm trying to say is this: when you are going for equity, you go with clean hands. If my mother had not gotten the right to be in America, there is no way I would have made a call. And by the time my brother made a call back to the US Embassy, they were apologetic because they know the person there deserves to be given such privilege to bring his mother. But here, both the citizen and the other Ogars will be fidgeting over nothing because you are not sure. You did not merit it. If it is your right, you have every boldness. You understand? So our problem in Nigeria is multidimensional. Starting from you and I, starting from knowing our rights, because we don't have enough civic education. It's during civic education you are taught your rights, your privileges, things you should do and things you should not do. I went to buy when I went for my interview for PhD admission. They gave me my supervisor during masters. I said I will not work with her. Oh, right, that you don't want her, you don't like her. I said, no, I cannot write that I don't like her. I did not say I did not like her, but I said I cannot work with her. Why? I'm not doing her course. My course, the area I want to work on is not her area of specialization. I need somebody who is in my area. Because I know I wasn't going to buy PhD I wasn't going to buy it. I was going to work. And when I was asked, I said, listen, at this level, PhD is something you work in tandem with your supervisor. Because it's my work and not his own. He's not the one that is going to work for me. It's my work, and it's me that has the right to tell him what I am thinking, what I'm researching on. It's not him that will put it into me. And so if truly we understand what it means, we will have enough civic education, we will know when to talk and when to keep quiet. But here we just model up everything. No. I think that's our major problem here. We are not giving that civic education from childhood, where you should know when to talk and when not to talk, how to carry yourself and how not to carry yourself. That's a major problem. It starts from our educational system. It's too porous. In those days, nowadays, we had moral instructions. We had debates. You know, those periods are in there. Debate where you mix with others. It is there you learn how to look at somebody's face, eyeball to eyeball. You overcome what they call stage fright.
Yes.
But today, you see somebody who has finished a first degree. What is your course? You know, I hope you watch these street interviews. Somebody said he did geography, he did the government. In which university? Say University of Ibadan. What is it? I think, okay, what is government? You know, is something that, you know, it's so ridiculous and so painful to hear that somebody spends 4 years, that they paid your school fees, you don't even know the certificate you're coming up with. What is HND? What is a BSc? They don't know. Many students will pass out without knowing the name of their lecturers. Many will pass out without knowing the name of their VCs or whatever. It's not done. You have to put, the institution must go through you, you go through you go through the institution and it goes through you. And that's when the education will be sound. And if you miss it there, every other thing you're going to do will be rubbish. Somebody who did the biology will be sent to go and be working in the bank. It's placement of priority.
Anyways, when we bring it down to the cost of governance, as we were discussing earlier, do you think that even if, because there have been clamors that maybe if the cost of governance be cut down a little bit, it might be able to assist with the state of the economy, probably help it develop one way or the other, and probably the money would be channeled to other areas. Meanwhile, you earlier stated as well that we have issues of check and balancing. So even if a situation is presented where we are able to cut down the cost of governance, do you think this would have any effect whatsoever on our economy's development?
Thank you. I think the cost of governance in this aspect, in this sense we are talking about now, is just, if I should say, we are looking at it from what our what do you call them now? Our political representatives here and there.
Yes.
What they take home, what they put into their pocket. And that's not what's supposed to be cost of governance. Governance is for the citizens, betterment of the citizens. And so when our Senate president made a stupid, I use the word stupid, statement that the nation can sacrifice anything, that's the language. Nation is ready to sacrifice anything to protect the life of the president and the vice president. Then I don't know what again you are talking about. Cost of governance is cost of maintenance of the people governing you. That's all. That's what we have. Our own cost of governance in Nigeria is what we spend in maintaining the people governing us. How many billions did they use in renovating vice president's house? How many billions? What was the meaning of buying yacht for a president who is living in Abuja? I don't know the ocean he'll be going to cruise. I don't know about whether they later bought it or people shouted they kept it. Now recently, a month ago, the president, Senate president said, oh, we must buy a private jet for president and vice. For what good reason? Immediately president came on board, he bought 700 million naira SUVs for the senators. How many of them? Calculate it. So the cost of governance in Nigeria is outrageous because we don't know where to channel it. How many months were university lecturers on strike asking for what should be their entitlement, asking for what should be the right thing to do, equip our laboratories, make our facilities good, convenient for our students, for our children to study instead of flying abroad. Do you know how much federal government spends on each lecturer that wants to go and do PhD abroad? You know, if I want me to tell you, when you are doing it in Nigeria, they give you, if you are doing arts, they give you 3,600,000. But when you want to go and do the same course abroad, if it's Canada, US, and London, they give you 56 million. One person, one institution. There might be like 7 people at a time from one institution. And how many institutions we have here? So what I'm saying is misplacement of priority. This money you send, give them to go to abroad to use. If you put it in our institutions here, and unfortunately too, when you get to that abroad, it will still be your Nigerians that will be teaching them there. One of us went to Malaysia to read what? Something in Hausa language. He went to Malaysia, 56 million. But his data and his supervisor was at the University of Ibadan. So what is the sense? What is the meaning? What's the rationale behind it? So I'm talking about channeling the money into the appropriate things you want to use it for, and not cornering it, putting it in your own pocket. Do fudge. Do you know how many parties they do in a week? Do you know how much it costs them to do their little get together? When a child of, have you seen people lavish money in this Abuja presidential party, this, that. What for? What are they for? The cost of governance is high because we are spending on the wrong place. If we spend it in the right places, it will be high. Put it in education. Stop people from going to abroad to do PhD. Do it here because we have all it takes here. Stop people from going to abroad to take care of their health. Establish a good hospital here. Can our president be going to London to how many times did you hear Buhari went to any hospital here? It was all true in London. Giving them money, giving them Nigerian money. So we can't exhaust talking about the cost of governance.
Well, with you in the house, there's almost so much to talk about. But at this point, we go for a quick break. Obviously, tension is high.
Ah.
She need that rest at this point. I mean, she's on fire, literally, if you could notice. Back to us here on set. Elizabeth Okorafo is still seated here with us as we discuss cost of governance in Nigeria. Now, she was really on fire for the first segment, and we need to really have a chill for a moment, probably take water where need be. And I think at this point, let's discuss a little as to the impact of this cost of governance on, or should I say, in relationship to our country's debt profile. Because to be honest, we really are wallowing in debt, even if we try not to pronounce it or say it anymore. But we know the fact that most times, if not most times, people tend to believe there's a correlation between our cost of governance and this a debt ratio we are in currently. Is there really a correlation? Is there really a relationship, or is it just us trying to bring things where things ought not be?
Well, the effect of this high cost, I use the word high cost, because cost of governance may be normal, may be low, it may be high. But I think in our own case, we should be talking about high cost of governance.
All right.
I think by the time we put it that way, one will know where we're going to. We have a very high cost of governance. Cutting costs was what one of the politicians was clamoring for. Let's cut costs. Let's cut costs, because of a truth is so hard on people now. The hardship is so much on people that you cannot go to the hospitals and see medicine. You can't go to the schools and see anything because there's no money to fund all these things. There's no more money. Maintenance culture in Nigeria is zero. It's zero. How many transports are owned by the government? No. That aspect is scrapped. The money meant for that, the money allocated for that, where is it? Still goes into, when you talk, they say, oh, we're paying back debt. You are paying back debt and you are purchasing things that will put you into debt more than ever. So the best we can do is to maybe, I don't know, I think it's the poor masses that are suffering it. You see that it affects you through your salary, or it affects you through your purchasing power. You have the money now, but you cannot buy anything that can take care of your family. And it is gradually bringing about high rate of death. There is no singular day they don't record deaths in the hospitals. Those who can go to hospitals, those who cannot go to hospitals, they die in their houses. Many people are slumping here and there. Many people are slumping. Why? They cannot feed well. Some of these, one of the comedians say, you no longer talk about balanced diet. Talk about food. You understand? Because if you are talking about balanced diet, that means, oh my God, you are not going to be in Nigeria. So what is balance? See people feeding on starch forever. Starch forever. You can't afford egg, you can't afford protein and any other thing. So there's no way we can explain it than to say that it is having a toll on us. The cost of governance is really biting, and that's why people are protesting. If everything is normal, petroleum, whatever is normal, we can buy your fuel 200 naira per liter, you fill your tank, you go to where you want to go to. But now you cannot go to where you want to go to because you can't afford it. Your car spoils now, it's better keep it one corner. How much can you spend on it? Is your salary up to that? How much do they say bag of rice? So these are the things we are talking about. There is no way you cannot be looking for the effect of high cost of governance too far. It's there with you.
The truth is, running a nation's economy is quite expensive. You would agree with me.
Yeah.
So, is it safe, I would ask this question, comparable to other African nations, are we really spending too much? Because to be honest, we are over 200 million people.
Yes.
So we tend to complain excessive cost of governance. We tend to complain and say a lot. But comparing us to other nations, I mean, don't you think we're probably doing well?
I want to ask, out of these 200 million people we have in Nigeria, what is the percentage of the working class? What is the percentage of those who are benefiting from the government? The working class. What do you benefit from the government? You?
I guess that's the point.
Did you take free education at any point?
Although we have scholarship scheme here and there.
Did you take any free education at any point? Scholarships are meant for exceptional students. Did you for any time take free education at any level? Have you ever taken a free medical care? Have you?
Well, I think
have you ever taken free transportation to anywhere? Have you ever entered any free vehicle to anywhere?
We have medical health insurance scheme.
I mean, wait, do you know that health medical insurance scheme, you are funding it too?
Well, I guess it's my way of actually supporting.
Good. It's a way of supporting, but what you put, is it seen? Is it noticeable? You are spending this money. Are you really having enough to show for it? Who is taking that money? Can you go to any hospital now and be sure that the drugs they will give to you will take care of your problem? You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that they should not take care or run the nation, no. But then, if you say, do you know how much I pay as a tax? As small as I am, a woman. You know how much I pay for tax? And calculate how many of my caliber in this nation that is paying I'm paying 112,000 naira every month. Calculate it per year. Every month. That is not part of my NHIS. This so-called health insurance. It's not part of it. This is just tax. Then you come and take my NHIS about 6,000 naira every month. And how many times do I go to hospital? You see, what I'm saying is that you may have a good idea, but you may have a good, let me say you have a lofty idea, but intention behind that idea is wrong. They will present this thing to you. Let's do this thing, but they have ulterior motive for presenting it to you. You are the government is indirectly sapping you, making things to be difficult for you. Look at what the president told the Labour Congress, that went to him asking for 250,000 naira minimum wage. He said to them, if I must take this, I will increase pump price. So increasing pump price means that the federal government or the president is gaining from the pump price now. And they said they remove subsidy. What's the meaning of that one? You will remove subsidy. People are buying fuel at 850 naira. You understand? People who are receiving 30,000 naira will still go to work. So the hardship in this nation is permeating into every aspect of our life. Productivity is so low because there was a time people were not coming to work. In fact, initially they were coming twice or thrice in a week. They are coming twice or thrice in a week because they cannot pay their tolls to the place. People who come to work now and they sit down. Even the administrators cannot query you for not coming to work. You have a very good excuse to give. And that day, what about all these sit-at-homes? What about all these protests here and there? People will not go to work. They will not do anything. So whether you like it or not, the government is for the rich, by the rich. Government of the rich, by the rich, and for the rich. It's not for you and I. It's not. Did you hear the latest, this in the Japa syndrome? The real brains have gone. It's not because of hardship here. People are selling off what they have here, going to where they be used as slaves too. If it is good here, would they be living? So there's no other, you can't go too far to look for the effect on us. It's telling on us.
So with all you're saying, it's safe to say from your words, I want to show if that's what you're trying to imply. Is it safe to say the main drivers of cost of governance, or rather high cost of governance in Nigeria are political office holders?
The administrators, the owners of the country.
They are our main
they
problem.
are our main problem.
We the citizens probably have no blame to share in that. It's all they are doing.
We are the people suffering it.
Okay.
Yes, we are the ones suffering it. Recently, the president signed a bill that the judiciary will be given 300% of their salary.
You really seem to be against that bill. I think, if I remember correctly, you were against it the last time you were
because
here.
I don't even know what they are doing. What is the judiciary doing? What is the judiciary doing to the nation that will give them such level of attention? What are they doing? Who are the judiciary? Making laws that you cannot put into practice? You made a law that for anybody to be a president of the nation must have 25%.
Actually, what they do is interpret the law. So they basically just interpreted that which was written.
They interpret it. How did they interpret it?
I mean,
when it comes, you see, what I'm saying is this: people say what they are asked to say. People these days, even the judiciary, they say what the owner of the nation will ask them to say.
That's why they've been given 300% increment, so they will not say what people want them to say. They will say what they know is true. I mean, that's the point.
By who gave them the money?
We all know where it came from. I mean, there's no secret or rocket science.
He who plays the tune, plays the
piper,
detects the tune. He gave them the money to say that black is no more black, it's white.
Okay. What are some reforms that could be implemented to reduce high cost of governance? Are there reforms we could use? Because at some point, I know you believe even our check and balance structure organization is compromised. I mean, what then will be the solution? Because I don't know if I'm the only one getting this energy, but it's more like you believe everything is wrong. There's no good at all.
For me, like I said,
there's no safe space anymore.
For me, like I said, it will take what Rawlings did one time in Ghana for Nigeria to come up to the level. Sometimes in Ghana, it got as bad as it is here now. The Ghanaians ran. That's why we got Ghana must go. Ghana must go. It took a person to take the bold step. And do you know what Rawlings did? You remember what he did? I don't want to say it. Huh?
You could still say it.
Rawlings killed all these stupid old heads.
Well, I wouldn't advise we do that here.
But wait, there could be a better way. Eh?
Okay, which is?
Let me tell you, I was thinking that this latest protest will sincerely lead to army taking over. Wait. But at a point I told somebody, I said, don't waste your time talking about that. It's not going to happen because the army the heads of them are compromised already. They already have their money. They've closed their mouths. And you know that coup is a very, very dangerous venture. It's 50-50. If you do it and fail, you will be killed. That's about coup. If you do it and fail, you'll be killed. And until we get to the level where somebody can come out and say, kill me for the safety of this nation. Until we have people like Junior King Abi of US, who spoke, there will be a day. Until we have people like this man in Kenya, I've forgotten his name, Julius something in Kenya, that will speak without closing his mouth.
Well, I believe what I'm trying to say is people should do things that are radical, but not exactly pick up arms. And
even if it means somebody coming up, somebody like I think I like people like Shewore, but I don't know why he is not really coming up to the level where he keep on blowing it. if the youths of the nation are with their brains in their head, I think what they have is more of sawdust. I'm telling you, without any apologies, our youths are so polarized, are so, I don't know what to use, because it is you that will still suffer it, and it is you that they will use to undo the other. Did you see Tinubu in any polling booths apart from where he went to vote? Did you see him in Ondo?
No.
During the election?
No.
Did you see any of the governors in the Ondo during the election? Did you see these people that they contest? It is you that will stand there and tell your fellow youth that if you are not voting Buhari, don't come. It's you. So we put them there. So it is that same money bag that I'm talking about that is flowing. People are wealth enslaved. And when you have taken your own slot, you keep quiet. The man dies at the face of tyranny, and he keeps quiet. So what it takes is that bold person that will say, enough is enough. And you have this support.
Okay.
You understand? Look at these soldiers that are shooting. Look at the police that are shooting. Are they better than you? Are they any better? Are they any well? But because they are following a foolish head, because of this small, I want to give you one instance of what happened. This same governance we are talking about. The recent death, the recent Igbo man that died, Ifeanyi, before he died, a year or two before he died, he was coming from somewhere. He was in a bulletproof vehicle and being given security that were all in an open vehicle. He was in a bulletproof. That was not enough to secure him. And then he had security men that were in an open, useless, rickety car. They shot about 7 of them to death. Just for one person, 7 people were killed. And do you remember these 7 people are husbands, fathers to 7 families, brothers to 7 families. Until today, what was done to compensate the families? Waste of resources. So what I'm saying is this. If from the head there, they say that no person can have more than one security agent, it will be okay. You cannot put a whole convoy on the road to secure just one person that is already in a car that is bulletproof. Is there any reason behind it? The motor that carries them has bulletproof. And then you place the lives of the others in danger just to show that you are there. Now, when the nature called on him, did he take any other security to bring him? No. He's gone, and he's gone. For real, he's gone. And people will not learn.
Well, so far we've been talking about challenges and everything happening with Nigeria and its government. However, it has seemed as though there is no hope for Nigeria at this point.
In my own concept, anyway, it's a personal opinion.
I understand. And looking at the check and balance in which you have already faulted, it could be responsible for some of these challenges we are facing in the country. Despite this, we still want to believe, just as you earlier stated, that you would want to see a day where Nigeria will be addressed as good, not even better. So what is the step forward? Where do we begin? If everybody is, let's say, is being faulted, or if everybody has been infected with this corruption, compromised with this, let's say, characteristics of corruption and the rest of it, including the youth, where do we begin? Do we say this is the end for Nigeria, or there is a way forward?
Well, I won't say it's the end of Nigeria, because I didn't create Nigeria.
You did say there was a country.
Yeah, there was a country, maybe. But, my greatest disappointment is that Nigerians are so religious that you don't even know what else to say about their belief. They believe that God will do it, God will do it. But I'm sorry, I will disappoint you that at a point in time, God can leave a country. God can leave a country to themselves. Because check the Israelites. How many years were they in exile? 70 years. They were in exile. And what happened? God turned his back at them. The book of Numbers said, may your face shine upon us. When that means that there are times the face of God will be off you. Do you understand? After the election, I want to tell you, I don't owe anybody any apologies. After the election, I stopped going to church. I am a Catholic, a born Catholic. I can see where I'm a born Catholic, but I stopped going to church. You know why? I don't believe in whatever they are telling me anymore. The churches they have failed us. The religious leaders have failed us. They have compromised to the point that nobody is ready. Even the Bible said, if you save your life before men, you will lose it. But if you lose your life because of me, you gain it, isn't it? Those who know the Bible, I don't read. I'm not good in those things. But I know that if you lose your life for Christ's sake, you will gain it. And nobody wants to lose his life for Christ's sake anymore. And so what are we talking about? When they will see the white, they say it's black. So I don't know how God is going to do it though. Maybe after so many years, like he did to the Israelites, he had pity on them after 70 years. He brought them back from exile. Maybe this is our own exile time. I don't know how many years it's going to take us to be in this kind of level. But my prayer, like I said before, is God, spare my life, show me mercy, so that I'll be alive when Nigeria will be good again. I think that should be our prayers. But if I tell you that I have any solution, or I can prefer any solution or idea of how Nigeria is coming to be good again, I might be deceiving myself. At this age, no. I refuse to deceive myself.
Actually, I've met a number of people who tend to believe religion as being one of the core challenge for Nigerians. I had a guest here, sitting here, who claims religion tends to brainwash people.
Yeah.
I do have my reservation nonetheless. But I mean, it's a good thing you still believe in God, anyways, even if you don't believe in certain structure or the way things are done. Which brings me to my next question. I don't know if you could share examples of, say, cost-saving initiative maybe our country could adopt.
Yeah.
Are there ways we could actually, save costs, reduce costs where need be?
Yeah.
Are there
reduce costs at all levels, especially at that administrative level. Cut their costs, what they want to buy. Well, it's not necessary. In the days of maybe I have to mention them, Labour Party presidential candidate. Immediately he left office. Okay, let me give you one example. You have served as a governor. When you were a governor, you had all the largesse you need. You had everything, security votes, they are given to you. And you finish as a governor, you still keep taking pension, taking money as a governor. For life, every year, 2 years, they buy you new SUV as a governor. They give you security as a governor. So also the senators and the members of House of Rep. So once you manage to be there, it's final, it's entitlement, it's inheritance. Do you understand? So if you look at the much they spend in buying those things for these people, you find out that they are trivials, they are irrelevancies. How many cars can a person drive? The highest, give the person 2 vehicles, 2 goods vehicles. Not buying 700 million naira vehicle for one person times how many? 700 people. How many are there in the House of Rep and Senate? Judiciary, how many? The generals, the retired generals, how many? Do you know what he bought for them? So like I said, it's not as if we don't have money. We have money. But misappropriation is what is our problem. And when they finish that money, they will now start siphoning you and I to see if they can continue.
Now, we are almost out of time, but quickly, I think to wonder, is there a way we could reduce costs and then balance the need for effective governance? Because I know for a fact effective governance is quite expensive.
Yeah.
So can we reduce costs at some point and at the same time balance things for that?
Reduce what you give to these people, to the big people, the House of Rep. When somebody finishes as a governor, pay him off, let him go. After all, as a civil servant, when you finish, they pay you off, give you gratuity, you go home, and you'll be collecting your peanuts out of what you have saved. It's what you have saved that you'll be collecting. It's not that government is giving you money. It's your pension contributory service. So that's what it is. So cut this unnecessary gratuities you are giving to people and use it for the youth. They keep saying the youth are the futures of tomorrow. When will it be your turn? You. When will you be the future of the God?
It's probably my turn already.
No, but I think that these elderly ones, they should retire. Starting from age limit. You understand? How can somebody with 70 years come to be your president? And the whole of the period you'll be spending it abroad, receiving treatment. You'll be abroad receiving treatment. Stop this abroad issue. Establish good hospitals here. Fund our hospitals here. The money they use for flights 2 times or 3 times in a year is enough to do things here. When they are going for conference or whatever outside, they pack the whole nation. So these are things you can reduce. Reduce it. Reduce the entourage. Reduce so many things. Cost of, I don't know. They have to cut costs. You don't need more than 1 driver. You don't need more than 1 security man. You don't need more than 1 cook. How many will you eat? What will you eat? Can you eat more than 1 chicken in a day? And then they vote how many millions? Wardrobe allowance is there. Your shoe allowance is there. Oh my goodness.
Well, I guess at this point we could go on and on, but time has always been a constraint on this show. And once again, thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you so much
Okorafo, for always being here.
It's my pleasure always.
And like I always say, she never means her word at all. She
You.
says it as it is. Thank you very much for staying tuned with us. Of course, we have come to a close for the day. Tomorrow is definitely another day. So you have a wonderful day ahead. I remain Ezekiel. Okay.
And I'm Angela Daku. Have a nice day.
Yes, there is news on your device, but hearing an analyst perspective is the icing on the cake that Daybreak Africa provides. Break. Start your day with prompt analysis of the latest news, trends,
Exactly, and then you see these people, they are so agile, they can do a lot of
politics,
We have to go back to that regional system. That is the foundation of this country, for God's sake.
entertainment, fashion, culinary skills,
So first I'm going to be pouring the oil inside the pot and I will...
Religious and cultural events amongst others on Daybreak Africa.
For a rich mix of analysis on current issues, tune in daily from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on channel 480 and 124 on Startimes.
Yes, there is news on your device, but hearing an analyst's perspective is the icing on the cake that Daybreak Africa provides. Start your day with prompt analysis of the latest news, trends,
Exactly, and then you see these people, they're so agile, they can do a lot of
politics,
We have to go back to that regional system. That is the foundation of this country, for God's sake.
entertainment, fashion, culinary skills,
So first I'm going to be pouring the oil inside the pot and I will...
religious and cultural events amongst others on Daybreak Africa.
For a rich mix of analysis on current issues, tune in daily from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on channel 480 and 124 on Startimes.